base, nigh, touchdown. The linebacker picked it up. That was not a forward pass. First down and 10 football. Back to pass. Magnano steps up again to the outside Simmons. Look what he does after the catch. Down that sideline, dances. He's gone. Marcus Simmons, touchdown, Millionaires.
Play action by Watkins, rolling to his right, throws wide open, touchdown!
First quarter. On their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0.
The action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch! 25, 20, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards. Down here to the right. They come Altner, Winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5. Touchdown. Mounties.
Welcome to week number 9 at Touchdowns and Tailgates, powered by the Fairfield Auto Group. I'm here with Doc Chris Massey. Hey, Doc.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you as always, my friend.
Always
We're
a pleasure.
Here at Ken Robbins Stadium, Larry Allison Field. Thank you, Larry Allison. Great donation you made to the township. I love this field. What do you think?
It's great. The turf is awesome.
Love the end zones, too.
Yeah, it looks sharp. Looks like a college field a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, the story has remained the same.
Yeah.
The injury bug has been caught here in the West Branch Valley, and no team seems to be immune to it.
Yeah, that's awful.
Have you ever seen, and I mean, I know your answer. Tell me about this year.
It's been brutal. We've never had a year like this where every team, it seems, has not just players go down, but some of their best players go down, and you can't go 1 week without seeing all-area type players getting hurt. This week it was Marcus Simmons at Williamsport, Chris Clem at South Williamsport, Luke Winter at South Williamsport. It's a shame. It's a shame. That's all that you can really say about it.
And you and I are hoping they all get back for playoffs, because
absolutely.
With all the guys on the rack, it ain't going to be much fun come playoff time.
No,
I mean,
it's a battle of survival at this point.
One thing you and I have in common is we want to see the best players against the best teams and have the best games. And our hands have been tied. I shouldn't say our hands have been tied. The area coaches' hands have been tied by the injuries.
It's been, I mean, teams are having to improvise on the fly, and there's only so much things you can do. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors for some teams. I mean, especially for the smaller schools where you don't. Where depth is a luxury, is not a luxury that they have. It's been brutal.
And we've seen that at Williamsport this year too. And folks, it's not just the player gets hurt. It's that domino effect that you move one player and usually got to move another player. And it's how many dominoes do you have to move to fill holes?
Exactly.
You know?
And you're shifting positions, and it just creates havoc for you, and it's just hard. So, the area fans that might be getting mad at some of their coaches and stuff, they might want to lay off them when they think about all the adversity these teams have had to deal with this year.
And it's funny because no matter if it's the Dallas Cowboys, whatever team it is, fans never see that way. They could be playing,
It doesn't matter. When things go well, it's the players, and when things go bad, it's the coaches.
And I guess as a coach, you always want to wear it, so that's the way to be. Hey, let's let that behind. We're moving into playoff time, and what's the most unexpected thing this time of year you have on the Chris Massey agenda?
Well, I think the biggest surprise in the area has been Canton being 8-0. That's a team that I thought would be a lot better.
We might as well start there, and I'm sure Canton's
still number one.
Number one team, Doc Massey, Sun Gazette,
and they
top 5.
They beat Wellsboro last week, and that was 28-game regular season winning streak for Wellsboro, and Canton, just like they did against Muncie, played great defense and found a way to get it done. And I thought Canton would be improved this year and be a good team. Never, ever thought they'd be 8-0.
No, and back to Wellsboro. How many weeks did they get off the mat?
It was five straight halftime deficits.
And it didn't happen this week, right?
And they were down 8 at the half, took a fourth quarter lead, and Timmy Ward returned a kickoff 85 yards.
Yeah,
or
85
so.
yards, yep. That was huge.
That kid's a stud.
I guess we got to lead right to number 2.
We'll go with Montoursville at number 2. Good bounce back win over Mifflinburg.
And I agree. In the quarterback play, J.C. Kiefer, I'm telling you, does a fantastic job developing players. And this year, the quarterback play, talk a little bit about it down in the borough.
Hunter Shearer has been outstanding. I mean, you talk about a kid that's that's progressed by light years. He's one of them. He threw for 1,000 yards as a sophomore, but he took his lumps, and he's got 20 touchdown passes already.
20 touchdown passes.
Only Bryson Musina is the only other player in program history to do that, so that tells you a lot about his season.
Back in the Coach Chuck Bowman days at Montoursville, they didn't throw 20 passes the whole season.
Well, I asked Mark Musina, who was All-State in 1989. I said, "You threw for over 20, didn't you?" He's like, "Nope." So they were anti-throwing the ball back then.
And back then, I think Coach Bergen had come on board, right? He
Yeah,
played for Jim. Jim was the same way. I mean, the three bad things, the old Paterno, three bad things could happen with the forward pass. So, anyway, what else at Montoursville? Good story.
Yeah, they're still fairly young. And,
yes.
I think the Danville game was a setback that I think they're going to learn from. And Jackson Delane is having a great year at receiver and safety, and they've just got a lot of weapons there. They don't have one guy that a defense can zone in on, and they've got a lot of weapons, and they really utilize them well. They call good offensive games,
and they stick to that Montoursville. The traditional Montoursville offense, defense, and they throw some wrinkles. And I mean, the 20 touchdown passes, but it's still Montoursville football. They want to bully you up front. Yep. They want to smack you on defense.
Yeah, and that running game sets up the pass, and it creates a lot of play action opportunities for Hunter Shear. So they're very balanced.
Number 3.
We'll stick with Wellsboro. I actually moved them up one because of some things that are happening to other teams in the area, and because they gave Canton a good run for its money, and they're still a young team too, and then they're 7-1 right now. They'll keep moving forward.
And they compete at AA, correct?
Yep.
Boy, they're in for.
So yeah, they're roadblocked by Southern and Mount Carmel. So they're
poor Wellsboro.
Yeah, their hope is that they can win a share of the NTL now and maybe win a first-round playoff game.
And that would be a good season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 4.
North Penn Mansfield making their debut in the top 5, 6-2 and won 5 straight and 5 straight blowouts.
Well, that's good for the Northern Tiers. Well represented.
Northern Tiers doing well right now.
And again, we can probably trace that back to all the injuries that have occurred locally, and some of the records aren't what they should be. And always give the disclaimer. Chris Massey gives love everywhere.
Yeah. So we cover a lot of teams.
We're covering a lot. You're covering a lot of territory.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Muncie, good bounce back win against CMVT, and
it was a fortunate scheduling too.
Yeah, they needed that with some of the injuries that they've had, and 2 tough losses in a row. It was good for them to kind of get their mojo back.
And not so much, I won't call it a gimme game, but it gives the coaches opportunity to put players in different positions under fire and develop them instead of being out there against an opponent that's equal or better.
Yeah,
it just don't work well in the middle of the season or last.
And that's one of the things that they've had to deal with. That so many other teams have had to deal with, that you don't have these easy opponents where you can work on some things to get better. You're using glue and patching things up and trying to move on.
And got my fingers crossed for Coleman Good.
Yeah, they're optimistic that he'll be ready to go for the playoffs, and that'll help them a lot.
And other teams in the area, and we're here at Loyalsock, going to interview Coach Van Fleet here in a little bit and some players. They've put it together after suffering some early season injury.
Yeah.
Again, schedule's been favorable for them, but I see them making a run, and who knows come playoff time right now.
Yeah, that's a team that, right now they'd be around a 6 seed in AAA, and the way they're starting to play and come together, that'd be a dangerous lower seeded team for one of those higher seeds to play. It's a team that I might not want to. If I were them, I really wouldn't want to play right now, especially if they get number 4 back.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if that
Connor
happens.
Watkins and fingers crossed there.
Yeah.
Too. I want to get all these guys back. I know some of them are lost for the year, but it'd be great to have them. Now, any other teams in the area that stand out that are outside the Massey top 5?
No, Class A is interesting right now because South Williamsport and Montgomery are kind of on the bubble, and I think if those 2 teams can get in, anything's possible. It'd be kind of, for me, from a selfish standpoint, I'd like to see an all-area Class A semifinal with Canton, South, Muncie, and Montgomery, and there's a chance of that happening, and I think that would be good for the area.
That would be fantastic.
To kind of see that kind of local flair.
I guess we'll wrap our local teams. Jersey Shore's been coming on.
That was a really good win over Lewisburg, and I was there for the Montoursville game too, and it was similar to that where the opponent had a chance to kind of bury him early. Shore fought off the mat, fought to a halftime tie, and took control in the second half. They're just they're Bulldogs. They're resilient,
Bulldogs.
they're scrappy, and
They're a scrappy bunch
they
up there.
find a way to get it done. You got to give Tom Gravish and his staff a lot of credit. What they've done with that program over the last 6 seasons, from where they were to where they are now, is pretty remarkable.
And I'm going to be leaving here, and we're going to head up and interview Coach Gravish and some Bulldogs. And we're also going to have Bald Eagle area, who's only lost one game, versus Jersey Shore, our PA Sports Live Web Weekly Game of the Week this week, and a pretty darn good matchup.
It's going to be a tough one, and I don't want to say it's a trap game because they're 7-1, but in Week 10, Jersey Shore would win a share of the HAC 1 title if they beat Central Mountain, and that's a big rivalry. They're coming off a big win, but they know BEA is good, so they'll be ready.
And I think BEA, District 6 still?
Yep.
District 6, gotcha. Player of the Week, Doc Massey. Sun Gazette Doc Massey, Player of the Week.
I'm going to go with 2 of them, and one of them's from Jersey Shore, Dawson Seacrest.
Nice.
Who, he was tremendous he's been a great linebacker all year, and he was good again, but becoming a nice offensive weapon for him, and had 189 yards rushing, caught a touchdown, ran for 1. Junior, who he's kind of small, but he's really strong, and he runs tough. He's a player to watch.
Great choice.
Yep. And we'll go with Colby Moyer from Muncie, who's doing just a fantastic job filling in for Coleman Good at quarterback. He threw for 262 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And if you haven't seen Colby Moyer, he flies under the small school banner down at Muncie, but he's definitely a quality football player. He could play.
Great.
He could play anywhere in the area.
He could, and he'd be a starting quarterback at a lot of places.
Yes.
And you hear coaches say that sometimes, and they were saying that about him. And after watching him play, I can definitely say that's true. And he's a great tight end too. Has a shot at being an all-star tight end in addition to a good quarterback.
Absolutely does. And I guess that'll wrap it up for Week 9. Next week, we'll have a little clearer picture, hopefully, of the playoffs.
I hope so. And hopefully we get through it without any injuries.
Hopefully we do. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be right back to Ken Robbins Stadium.
There's a reason why you come here. With every visit, we embrace our customers like family. We're the name you've trusted for over 32 years.
We show how much we value our customers with unrivaled service, a commitment to hometown values, and unmatched selection.
Fairfield isn't just any dealership. We're the area's most trusted dealerships. Fairfield. For fair deals, you're gonna love us.
I'm back at Ken Robbins Stadium with head coach Justin Van Fleet. Always good to see you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming to cover the kids and everything else.
Anytime. Hey, obviously I follow you close, and everybody close in the area, but great turnaround, got things rolling the right way. Schedule's been favorable. One thing everybody might not understand is the domino effect. Chris Massey and I talked about injuries. It's not just moving the player, it's hurt. It's how when you move him, you got to move him, how you got to move him, and you've been through it all the way around. Give us an overview of from where we were to where we are now.
Well, in the middle of the season, we had a lot of guys out, and that makes it complicated because, as you said, it's not just losing a position. You're going to have individuals shift into different roles, different team dynamics, leadership changes and transfers, and it takes some time to actually get your feet on the ground and cemented. However, every week people have become more comfortable, and then in addition to that, individuals have come back from whatever injuries it was that afflicted them. So we're playing at a higher level. And in addition to that, I'd say there's a different level of focus with the kids. Going from a team that was oftentimes favored to a team that was, told we were down and out. It certainly changes the perspective quite quickly.
Absolutely. And you and I have learned over the years, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And you have a great opportunity ahead, and that'll hopefully the last couple of weeks put you right where you want to be come playoff time. But let's talk about the next couple of weeks and what you got on your plate.
Well, this week, obviously, we have Warrior Run, a heck of a tough game, always a tough matchup, one of the historic matchups. We played them a lot in the past, and I have some roots there as I coached there and taught there.
I was hoping you went there.
So, I know a lot of the community, a lot of the last names are the same. So that's a neat thing, and Coach Long, who coached with me, is the head coach there now. So, a lot of good things.
And anytime you're a head coach, you leave a school and become a head coach somewhere else, there's always a special rivalry there between the school you left. Not as much for the kids, but for the coaching staffs and so forth. And this past week against Milton, typical Loyalsock, slow start, and then let's play ball.
Yeah, we've really got to fix the first quarter, whether it's this year, last year, year before, whenever it is. We generally start off a little off of it, and then second half, second quarter, usually the third quarter, we come out and we play ball. And this Friday was a situation that was similar in that we were finding ways to slow ourselves down, and Milton was playing quite well in the first half. And then the second half, some of the opposite things happened. However, for example, the opening kickoff of the second half, we ended up not getting. They recovered it. And, oftentimes that would take a team aback and, you'd come out and let down, but instead it fired us up more. So the kids came out and played, and the reality is, as coaches, we call plays, we set up defenses, but the kids are the ones that are on the field playing. And that's what I'd say the testament of last week was. In the second half, they brought a different level of energy, and they really brought it to bear and showed what they could do.
And I agree with you. And one thing about Loyalsock is football I've watched over the last few seasons, even all the way back to Coach Jackson, being behind has never seemed to really. Sometimes it's like the beginning of the game where we're like, okay, let's play a little football, and then and we get behind and like the switch goes on. I mean, it's like I think it's more of the athletes and the kids here in the township than it is a coaching thing, because I've seen it under a different coach. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's partially it's the confidence that whether the score is. They've been successful, and this group's no different than any previous group. They've been successful throughout most of their athletic lives, and because of that, they're able to, in a tough time, call back to those other times where they were down. Or in our football history, think of times in which we were down and it was a worse scenario. Yeah. On Friday night, we actually talked about the Lewisburg playoff game from last year, where we were down and out and everybody counted us out.
And Gerald was down and out.
And Gerald was sitting in the locker room over here, and the kids were able to rally together and move forward. And there were some similarities to that on Friday night. Obviously some major difference in terms of the total implications. However, the reality is we put ourselves in a position where we don't win. Season's ending pretty quick.
I think a lot of it has to do, too, and giving a shout-out here to Coach Van Fleet, your personality. You're a pretty easygoing guy, and I know you can get riled up behind the scenes, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. And believe me, I know you want them to come out and be ahead 21-0 in the first quarter, but you have that personality that allows the kids to feel comfortable, but no matter what the situation is, and that's a good thing. I mean, and hopefully it doesn't catch you short. Hey, I always ask the kids, give a shout-out to somebody. Who would you like to give a shout out to this week that helps you, flies under the radar, helps you a lot?
Well, the one thing, and it's real cliche to say, but probably my wife, she lets me, I'm hardly home. We have an infant daughter. I'm here till way late, and when I do get home, I'm oftentimes on my phone doing work. So she does a lot for me during the season and the off season, and certainly takes care of the things. And anyone who's been a coach, you're blessed to have that person who's working alongside you with your family and helping with the team and giving you that heads up when you need it, and also, as both you and I know, a kick in the tail when you need it too. So
absolutely,
I'd say for
and you've
sure
learned the
she's
most
one.
valuable lesson of coaching, that the most important assistant coach, the first one's right at home.
That's right.
And they better be happy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So hey, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back with some Lancers. Thank Coach.
I play softball, fast mass.
We play soccer, fast mass.
I swim and play track, fast mass.
We play hockey, fast mass.
Back here with some Loyalsock Lancers. Jared, we'll start with you. You know how we do this. But hey, things are rolling the right way. It's great to see.
Yeah. Jared Ross, senior wide receiver and D-back. But yeah, Connor getting injured early in the season really demoralized us. But, as our team grows in practice and chemistry gets up, we're really, really rolling now.
Fantastic. You come off football and then you got basketball. You all ready for that too?
Yeah, I'm very excited for basketball. The season we had last year, going to the Elite Eight, losing to a great team in Trinity. This year, we should be even better.
But let's worry about Warrior Run. Coach Van Fleet will get upset with me, okay?
Yeah.
Let's move right on.
I'm Aiden Gare. I'm a linebacker and running back.
Aiden?
Junior.
How do you keep growing so much?
I eat a lot.
Well, that's a good thing. How about the Gare family at home? They keeping the cabinets stocked up for you?
Always.
Lots of good food?
Always.
All right.
Every Wednesday and Friday.
Let's pass it on here.
I'm Chase Kavanaugh. I'm the quarterback, and I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore Chase Kavanaugh, QB. Not in your brother's shadows anymore, right?
No.
Feel good?
Yeah, it feels awesome.
You're doing a great job. Let's pass it right on.
All right, I'm Ian Weimer. I'm a senior, and I'm D-tackle, and it's nothing better than playing D-line.
Ian, you do a great job, and you sort of flew under the radar, but even last year, you made some big plays and big games, and I've watched you this year. Great job, son. We'll start with you. We'll ask you a question. What's your favorite part of football?
I'd probably have to say the teamwork, because teamwork's a big play in my life, because without football, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Working together with your teammates.
Yes, sir.
And as far as defense, you like playing defense better,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite part of defense?
Big plays, making big plays. And
Big
getting
hits,
really
big
excited.
plays?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Let's move on over here. Quarterback Kavanaugh. So tell me, the season starts, and you got Connor coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, started since he was a freshman. You're thinking, I'm going to play split end, I'm going to do some other things. What was the first thing in your head when Connor went out down at Bloomsburg?
Kind of like, can I make the throws he does? And obviously I couldn't, so we had to change the whole kind of scheme and like how we do things.
And you've done a great job with it. And as we can tell on camera, you don't get too flustered, too upset over anything. Is it the same way in the huddle with him, Gerald? Be honest.
No, he's always cool and collected. And sometimes he needs a senior step up, but no, he's always pretty good.
Calm, cool, collected. You can run. You got a good arm. What's been the best thing that's happened so far since you began as quarterback that's made it easy for you?
Probably having like Chofi and Gerald and Brock as like older receivers that I can throw to.
You got a pretty good group. Just put it up and let them go get it?
Yeah.
That's what your dad, your dad haven't even known each other long. That's probably what your dad says. You lay it up there and let them go get it, right?
Yep, definitely.
Let's come back here to Aiden Gare. Aiden, basketball too. I asked Gerald about basketball. What's your favorite sport? Baseball, basketball, football?
I'd say I have to say football. I just love hitting kids. I've always liked to do that since I was a kid.
And obviously he's a linebacker, and I say that every week. The first answer I usually get out of linebackers is, what's your favorite part of football? Lighting somebody up. Any big hits?
Not lately. Since Connor's been out, we've had to change defensive scheme, so I've been having to play like a strong safety kind of role. Sometimes come down to linebacker, so not many throws on my side, so I haven't been able to hit someone.
And you've been doing a good job. And last year, I go back to Aiden, no matter what level, back to Little League, you always make big plays. And the play I always think of when I see you is what from last year? The interception.
The interception goes to Mount
Montoursville. We were struggling and couldn't put him away. And you made a big play. You got in at linebacker, a young buck, picked it off and took it to the house. Yeah. And then you and Hunter got to celebrate a little bit. I enjoyed that. I tell you, I enjoyed watching that more than if Hunter would have ran that in, because I knew how important that was for you and was a great springboard for you, I thought. It gave you confidence.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. It helped a lot, especially when we got into playoffs and we had some injuries, and I had to step up, make some plays, especially in the first game of states and against Lewisburg.
Let's come back over to Gerald. Gerald, your senior career is winding down. Okay, you're moving on. I know what your goal is. We got the schedule set up. What can we do? What can Loyalsock? I say we. I'm still, Hunter's gone. I should say you guys. What can you guys still do come playoff time?
Oh yeah, come playoff time, I think we'll be a whole different team. Connor coming back, guys just getting healthier. We'll be a lower seed in the playoffs, playing the higher seeds. But honestly, I think we're the best team coming out. Just the chemistry we have and how hard we work is really a testament to what we can do.
And the numbers you've been able to hang on the board, no matter who the quarterback is, very, very good in another season. But what's it like when you used to slide under the radar and now you're viewed as the man? It's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, sophomore year I had like one touchdown for like 100 yards. Now I'm almost at 2,000 yards in my career. It's a completely different atmosphere.
And that'll make you the top receiver, correct?
Yeah.
You already are.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I have all the records.
I'm pretty sure you are. But let's go back over here to Ian. We'll start with you and come down the line. Give a shout out to somebody.
I'd probably say thank you for my grandfather because he's been there for me a whole life, I guess. Yeah.
Your grandfather's been there, and I know he's important in your life. And anybody else?
Probably my best friend, Carmen.
Carmen Brown?
Yes, sir.
You guys are tight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing. And I've watched you. I don't know how to say this. You weren't a very good football player when you were younger.
No, I was not.
And there's a lot can be said because you have worked yourself into an all-conference football player, maybe more. Who knows what's going to happen this year? And you've come a long way. Tell me, and I know I'm giving you a little extra time, but the hard work you put in, is there anybody that's been instrumental in that and in developing you?
I'd have to say the defensive coaches.
Defensive coaches. And you've eaten it up, and proud of you, son. Great job. Let's come back over here to young Mr. Kavanaugh. Who are we shouting out to today?
I'd probably say Cole, because every week after every game, he's usually at my house. We talk about the game and stuff like that, and he watches film.
It's great to have an older brother that'll spend time with you like
definitely.
that. And Cole's a good one. He's a very cerebral football player.
Mm-hmm.
Is he as much cerebral, or is he more action-reaction?
I think he's more action-reaction.
I think so, too. I think your brother was more thought out, and I think you action, which is great. I mean,
yeah.
I had two sons, and they were both different ways. Anybody else you want to give a shout-out to? How about in the staff? Who's helped you as far as your quarterback skills?
Probably Coach Stopper, because I'm with him every day, with whether it's defense or offense.
You got my mental telepathy there. I've been around Coach Stopper for years. He coached with me in middle school years ago. He just has a nice, easy way of working with the quarterbacks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's really good.
Let's come back to Aiden. Your shout-out.
Definitely Coach Van Fleet.
Coach Van Fleet?
Even sometimes, at practice, sometimes we get a little heated. But he always one that calms me down.
Should I ask this or shouldn't I? I'll ask it.
Okay.
Did you take over Hunter's spot getting a little heated? Or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
There's always one in the group, isn't there, Gerald?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job. And Coach Van Fleet puts his life and soul into the team. And his dad, got to give a shout-out. Is his dad still?
Yeah, old man definitely helps out a lot after he's done screaming at everyone, he always pulls us aside and talks to us.
And I know how he is. He probably has you under his wing too, doesn't he?
Definitely.
So, Gerald, last one. Shout out.
Definitely the offensive coordinator, Andy Brown. Sophomore year when I wasn't putting up the numbers I expected to, he assured me that with time it would come, and with practice and hard work it would come, and he was right.
Coach Andy Brown, and he's been around here a while, and that's a great shout out. And how about your family? I know how your family supports. Give a little love.
Yeah, my mom and dad, they're at every single game since I was 3, and after every game they want to talk about it, and they only address the things I did wrong so I can get better, but it makes me mad, but I know it's with good intention. So.
It always is.
Yeah.
Well, boys, good luck. I think you got some games ahead of you that are right up your alley to lead into the playoffs. And in Loyalsock, that's been our history, right? You guys get it rolling at the right time, so good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll take a commercial break. I'm going to head up to Jersey Shore.
There's a reason why you come here. With every visit, we embrace our customers like family. We're the name you've trusted for over 32 years.
We show how much we value our customers with unrivaled service, a commitment to hometown values, and unmatched selection.
Fairfield isn't just any dealership. We're the area's most trusted dealerships. Fairfield. For fair deals, you're gonna love us.
And I'm here inside of Jersey Shore Middle School, and I got Jersey Shore head coach Tom Gravish. Hi, Coach.
How are you doing?
And I got linebacker Hunter O'Connor. How are you, son?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Good. Well, Coach, let's start with Hunter here while we got him in. He's had 100 tackles 3 straight years, and I think the number was 363, which was the Jersey Shore school record, which is pretty impressive with all the good linebackers you had come through here.
Absolutely, and the linebackers that they've had for 50, 70 years here of Jersey Shore football tradition. You go up to the high school and you look on the Wall of Fame with a video board, and there's different linebackers that's made all state throughout, and Hunter has more tackles in a single season and for a career at this moment, and we're expecting that he's going to have more tackles throughout the year. He works extremely hard. He's been a two-way starter for us since his sophomore year, and he's a great wrestler, and he's a strong kid, and we're happy he's on our team. He's been a special kid. He's a captain on our football team, and it's been a pleasure to coach him over these last 3 years.
Great words coming from you, Coach. And I didn't want to jinx you last week, Hunter, because I knew you were closing in. But one thing I've learned this year is don't talk about anything until it's in the books, right, Coach?
Right.
And congratulations, school record, 3 seasons, 100. That's rare. But tell us about your career here at Jersey Shore and what it's meant to you.
It's amazing. I mean, the coaching staff, the players I've been with, they're all supportive and they're all pushing you to be your best. I mean, every day, every practice since my sophomore year, there's coaches, they're pushing us through conditioning, pushing us through different drills, and they only want the best from you. They don't accept anything less.
And the one thing, and I always tell every young man I come in contact with, one thing I always say is enjoy every moment of it because it goes by in the blink of an eye. Do you want to jump in on that? Because it just seemed like the other day you were a sophomore trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, everything's flying by, especially this sophomore year. I mean, it just seems like we were back in heat acclimation, but now it's week 8 and the season's almost over and the playoffs are almost here. So, I mean, I'm just trying to soak up every little bit of it, enjoy the last few games of my senior year.
Well, obviously, I know, Coach, and I'm going to ask you, most important thing is to like contact as a linebacker. But the number 2 most important thing is?
You know, it's you have to have a mental toughness. In this day and age, with high school football teams that are so complex, you go from different teams. Even with our Lewisburg team that we played on Friday night, there's times where they want to play power football. There's times when they want to play spread football. And so to play linebacker, you know, in 2018, high school football is a lot different than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And so it's challenging for a linebacker. And, you know, Hunter does such a great job with that. Coach Jackson does a great job at teaching the linebackers, you know, the tendencies and, you know, how they can hurt us, you know, from different formations.
And exactly where I wanted to go. One thing about Hunter is he keeps his cool, tough as nails, and he has that mental toughness, which sometimes linebackers, you know, can lose their cool every once in a while.
Right. Hunter's been a competitor, and, you know, he's been in a ton of wrestling matches. You know, he was in state wrestling and medal last year, so he's been in those situations. And so he's a veteran of competition, both on the mat and on the football field. And, you know, it shows on Friday nights.
Absolutely. Hey, let's talk great win over Lewisburg. We'll leave it in the past because I know you're a big guy. We're in another week. You're 0-0, right?
Absolutely. We just want to be 1-0 this week. We're playing Bald Eagle area, who you know, is improved. They're 7-1. They just lost their first game last week, so I'm sure they're going to be coming right after us. You know, to get back on track. They're the #1 leader in District 6 for their division of playoff points, so they're going to want to maintain that. They have talented kids. It's the fastest Bald Eagle team that I've seen in, you know, maybe 35 years, and you know, they have difficult players to, you know, you're going to have to cover up. They have a quarterback who can really throw the ball as well as anybody we've played all year, and he's a little quicker at the running part of it. So they play great defense, a couple great linebackers with 100-plus tackles over their years as well. So it should be a great football game, and we're going to have a great week of practice.
And obviously the games are won in practice, and I know you do a great job preparing the team. Hunter, tell us about Bald Eagle area, and then tell me about how Coach and Alex Jackson, they prepare you to make those 100 tackles.
Like Coach said, like they're an athletic team. They have 12 kids that can run the ball, catch the ball. They're just athletic. But I think during practice, what they really coach up is the physical toughness and being mean, being in their face. And I think that's how we win most of our games. We're just more aggressive, and we're just attacking them the whole time, no matter maybe if they're more athletic than us.
And I agree with that. In the past, they've always Jersey Shore kids have been hard-nosed, tough kids. But you've managed to take these hard-nosed, tough kids up here and channel them in a game where they're focused on what the prize is, as opposed just to hitting somebody or being physical. And a lot of credit goes to you and your staff for doing that. Talent's been up here for years. You're just bringing it to the forefront.
Well, thank you. You know, we have great players and smart players. And so it's easy when you have great players and players who listen and players who are coachable. And we've been very fortunate to be in a situation to have those kind of players. And hats off to those guys. They're the ones making the plays.
You and I don't make any tackles, do we?
No.
Hunter, anything you want to add to the end?
Nothing. Just, I mean, we're just getting ready for this week. And like you said, just be 1-0 at the end of the week.
1-0 at the end of the week, and we'll come back with a couple more Bulldogs. But we're going to have Bald Eagle area at Jersey Shore, Web Weekly Live, PA Sports Live. We're going to come up here and do the game, and we look forward. I'm going to watch it on my big screen. I hate to say that back at home, but we'll get it out there for everybody that wants to watch it, and we'll take a commercial break. Be right back.
There's a reason why you come here. With every visit, we embrace our customers like family. We're the name you've trusted for over 32 years.
We show how much we value our customers with unrivaled service, a commitment to hometown values, and unmatched selection.
Fairfield isn't just any dealership. We're the area's most trusted dealerships. Fairfield. For fair deals, you're gonna love us.
And we're back at Jersey Shore, and I got 3 Bulldog seniors with me. I'll let you introduce yourself, boys.
My name's Howard Fozzie. I'm the starting center and long snapper for the team.
And you've been the one getting it back there for Cameron to kick it through, huh?
Yeah, I try my best, but as you can see, like last game, missed a bad snap, and that's why we have practicing our fire drill and still getting some points on the board.
Well, Cameron was very complimentary of you, and just tell people you had that plan that way. That was, you wanted to get 2, but you didn't want to overrule Coach, okay?
Yeah, Cam is a really good kicker, and he does good, but yeah, we planned that time.
And over here I got the twins. Go ahead, boys.
I'm David Tome. I'm the nose guard and guard.
My name is Kyle Tome, and I'm the starting running back and the starting DN.
And I had you boys on last year, you juniors, now you're seniors. It's been great to watch you career play out here, and you got to give a lot of credit to your brother there for blocking for you, don't you? Hold the mic up there for him.
Yeah, I give him a lot of credit. He stepped up when he was a sophomore, and I started late in the sophomore year, so I give him a lot of credit for being on the line for me and blocking for me and stuff.
And you and I, we talked off camera there. You want to switch positions for him for a week or 2, right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely could do better than him.
You think you can hold down the fort, right?
Oh, yeah, I can do better than him.
Hey, what do you think, your brother?
Yeah, he could probably do better than me.
Son, do you want to play on the line?
Yeah.
One little quick note is we're in the middle school here, and across the street is where you guys grew up, is your home. And I understand there's a big tailgate that goes on there every Friday night for home games, or maybe away games too. I don't know.
Yeah, like it seems like every time we walk right through out here, and I look over and there's like 50 people outside of my house, and they pump everybody up, they're cheering us on and stuff like that. So it's really cool. It's a really good experience going through there every day.
How about you? You're the quiet one over here, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Not much of a.
Tell me about playing football with these guys, with your senior teammates.
Oh, it's been a great season. The past few years have been great. These guys are just good, and the camaraderie and stuff's really good, and I enjoy playing football with them.
And one thing I've noticed over the years is how tight-knit you guys have become up here. I mean, and Coach is off camera here, but a couple of things. Everywhere I go, you guys are so polite and so courteous up here, away from the football field, but I don't know of a bunch that like to smash things more on the football field. Yeah. You take pride in that, don't you?
Yeah, we do take pride, and like the coaches always say, we're a family first, and that's pretty much our motto. We stick together as brothers, and we're a family, and everywhere we go, they always make sure we're respectful, and we try to maintain that image.
Excellent job. You want to jump in on that, gentlemen? Gentlemen most of the time, but when you get on the field, you like to tear things up?
Yeah, I believe. We're respectful, and we're representing our team. Like, we're not just representing like ourselves. We're representing the whole team. We don't want to have a bad image, but like what you said, when we're on the field, it's go time. Like, we put everything behind, and
Let's get your brother's take on that.
Yeah, well, my brother said when we do step on the field, it's a whole different person. Like we like freaking focus and stuff, and we just come out here and play.
Well, you can have a lot to be proud of. Mm-hmm. Who's the older one out of the curiosity?
Yes.
Got that down. So, hey, last thing I always like to do, shout out to whoever you want. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Coach Gravish and Coach Jackson, actually, because they're the 2 hardest coaches, I think, and they really push us and get us doing the best. And also shout out to our kicker, because he's one of my best friends, and he's really good at what he does.
One thing I can say, I know both coaches pretty well now over the years, and they are tough guys, but I don't think any coaches love their team more than those two. Were you agree? Go ahead, jump in, give a shout out, and jump in on my thought.
Obviously, I got to give them shout
it's
out.
Tough love.
Oh yeah, I got to give a shout out to the coaches, because they taught me everything that I know, and I wouldn't be here without them. And I also got to give a shout out to my dad. He always taught me to be the hardest worker in the room, no matter what I'm doing.
Well, that's great advice.
It's always helped me a lot.
Great advice, and he also taught you to have a tailgate party right close to the home field too, right? Okay.
Shout out to the coaches, all the coaches. They helped me through a lot of things. I went to like different positions when I was in like middle school and like high school and stuff. So, and like my brother said, shout out to my dad and stuff, because he just like been here for us, both of us and stuff.
fantastic. And the Jersey Shore football family is a pretty big community, isn't it? So, hey, that'll wrap things up here in Bulldog Land. Like I said, we got Baldigo area coming to visit Jersey Shore. And also we have Gary Chrisman, Babe Mayer. They're up at Williamsport as Wallen Paul Pack plays. And in both good contests. But more importantly, get out to your local high school field and support the young men that put all the time in and the coaches. So touchdowns and tailgates in the book, thanks to Fairfield Auto Group.
At the 41, Potts cut to the outside. Grayson Potts bounces out 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Potts, end zone, touchdown.
From the gun, drops back to pass. Looks, throws over the middle in the end zone. Circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown.
First quarter. On their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott. A return for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0.
The action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch! 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards. Down here to the right. They got Altner, Winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5. Touchdown. Brownies.